Welcome back to my second ever tutorial on how I draw things. And so, I got a request yesterday by the lovely My Paw Print from DeviantArt. I will put his link to his profile in the description below. So he asked me if I could make a tutorial on how to draw Paws. Now, I mean, that's probably one of the favorite things of mine that I like to draw in pictures. And, so I have here three, different points of view for the paws. I'm not gonna do facing away paws right now because that's a little bit more complicated than what my English can allow, because even though English is my main language, I'm still terrible at it. Anyways, so, I was gonna, go through these and just kind of explain how I draw these. And so I think we'll start with the easiest, which is, the side view for the paw. So, when I sketch, I generally want to make sure my correction is down lower, and I also want to make sure that I have a basic ground for the foot. So that way it looks like they are drawing on, or not drawing, well, it looks like they're standing on flat ground and that their feet aren't, weirded out and, their paws are going up in weird angles like that and going, oh, what's wrong with their paws? Okay, so, generally how I do this, is, well, I just sketch it out, but I'll make an easier way on how to draw this. So you'll want to start out with the basic, just a basic, like, oval shape for the toe closest to the camera, and then you'll want to create another one like almost directly above it, but like right in the middle, like right here. It's because like maybe just a little towards the back, so that way the toe lines up a little better. And then you'll want to make almost a backwards D. I mean, you don't have to draw through the line here, but it might be helpful. And then you'll want to draw, add like a little crook here so that it's coming down just a tiny bit, not as much as I just did there the first time, like that. And then, well, yeah, and then kind of make like just a little arc for the front there to, for the leg or the ankle that connects to the foot. And then, if this is optional, but I like to add an extra little toe showing back here because it, I don't know, it adds a little bit more depth to it instead of just a 2D, here's the foot, here's the paw, or not the paw, the legs, and it just kind of looks weird. I don't know. That's just personal preference though. And so what you want to do is you'll want to measure out the overall paw, because cats mainly walk on their toes. And so technically up here is their wrist, and here is just where their hand, well, I don't know, if you look at your hand, like, the knuckles would be, like, right here, and then the palm of your hand would be right here, and then here's the ankle, and then it would go up a little more. And then, see, I like to add fur to this because it gives it, I don't know, cats have fur, so again, that's personal preference. So what I'll do, since that's just the sketch layer, is then I'll line this. Shouldn't take me very long. I have to turn up my correction because my hands are shaky like an old lady. But then what I'll do is then I'll kind of flatten out this D shape here because I don't know, you don't have to, but that's how I do it because it's part of my art style. And so what I'll do here then is I made that a little big, I apologize for that, so I'll make it a little smaller. The sketch is just kind of there to help, and then of course the extra toe, and then what you'll want to do is then add the fur, and then bam, and then I'll remove the layer, and see, there you go. I actually like this one better than the original one. But this is how you draw side view paws. And so for the next one, this one's a little bit trickier because it's the different angle. It's like a 45-degree angle, I guess. Yeah, it'd be a 45-degree angle, and then this one, you know, would be a 90-degree angle. And then this one would technically be a 0-degree angle. We'll get to this one in a minute. This one's, I've always had hardest time with front view paws. They're like my weakness. But I love drawing them. So the 45-degree angle, again, you'll want to make sure you have a flat space so that way the paws don't, you know, look funky. But with this one it's going to be a little different because this third paw right here is in fact back a little ways because of the depth, and so as you can see I can't draw a straight line. There's a difference here between that one, there we go, the two lines. So there's like a little gap between the toes, and then so I just use the line like this to help make sure that the paws are in fact flat on the bottom instead of going like ugh. So what we want to do is we'll make the circles again. It's kind of like the same method, except you're just moving the toes around, if that makes sense. See, then there's the other toe. That looks terrible. I do this all the time when I draw. It's like I will draw something and I have to redraw it like a dozen times before I get it right. The curses of being a perfectionist. Okay, so again, when you make the middle toe here, well, not really the middle toe, but because there's 4 toes total, but the last toe is in fact behind this toe right here. This middle toe, you'll always want to add, well, not always add, you'll want to add a little extra here because it's in front of the ankle bone now. And so, and then you'll measure like out the foot and then add the fur, like, I mean, you don't have to do exactly as I do because this is just how I draw things. I'm just sharing how I draw things because I know that I've been told that people really like my art style. I mean, go wild when you want to find your style. I've been all over. Whoa, I did not mean to do that. I go bonkers when it comes to trying to find my art style. I think I've got a pretty good one right now. It's kind of sticking a bit longer than the others, but, you know, I probably just jinxed it, and now my art style is going to change in, like, next week. But, anyways, so now we'll want to line this, and, so we'll start with the toe here. Whoa. One of the things I always forget is, like, correction. So when I'm drawing, I'm like, why is my line so wiggly? And then I'm like, oh wait, correction. That's a thing. And then, so yeah. Oh, that look. So again, you'll want to make sure there's that little, you know, that little gap right there between this one. I mean, it can vary in size depending on how big or, you know, how fluffy you make the cat, because if you make a fluffy cat, the feet could have, you know, fur coming off of it, or fur on the ground, or, you know, that all looked terrible because I'm too lazy to fix it, or make it so that it's, but, and so that is that one. I made it smaller. Whoops. Here we go. And so this is the angled view. And then, I mean, you guys can, like, take, like, photos of this if you want, or screenshots or whatever, and, like, draw. Like, I mean, don't trace it, because, you know, that's no fun. It kind of takes the fun out of it, and it's my art style. But, you can take screenshots of this and, like, use these as references if you want, because I'm going to be posting this on DeviantArt as a Paw study, and I will link the YouTube video here to, from DeviantArt, so that way you can find this video. So, I mean, either that or you're subscribed to me, or you just found me randomly. Anyways, so now that one's taken care of, and now that I've hopefully made sense instead of just rambling on randomly, like a bird, this one now, this one, front view, this one's a little bit trickier, in my opinion, than the others. I don't know why. I think it's because I've always had problems with front views. I don't know, some people find it easier than others, but side views have always been my strong point, and so I've always been kind of been trying to practice front view and angled view a lot more, especially with expressions and other parts of the cat. But so anyways, the front view is it generally, like, directly front view. It's not going to happen often, because in reality most animals do not in fact hold themselves perfectly straight forward. They're always going to be angling off, like they're going to turn. They're always on the move. I mean, except for my cat, he is always sleeping. But in the realistic world, this is generally uncommon, because cats are always on the move. I mean, maybe one paw will be facing forward, but then the other ones could be, you know, like, these two could be the same, from the same cat. Like, one could be facing forward and the other is facing sideways, like it's going to get ready to walk, you know, that way. That was not an arrow. But anyways, so I'm going to stop rambling now, because, yeah. So what you want to do is you'll want to sketch out little circles. You'll make one small one and then one medium one. I mean, they don't have to be perfect circles. I kind of make them, like, arched a little, because I did not do that up there, because the cat toes are generally round, and so when they touch the ground, it's like they're gonna be a little circular, so I mean they're going to be flat, more flat on the bottom because of the weight that they're putting on it, like Oliver. And so once you have this sketched out, you just kind of start, depending on how big you want your cat legs to be, I generally, like on a general basis, I start like right in between, or I always start with 2 lines, with these 2 on the inside and then these 2 toes on the outside, because I do like scary, kind of like that, ugh. I am terrible when it comes to symmetrical sides because, yeah, but, so once you've got that, you want to turn your correction up. I mean, you don't have to. Again, that's what I have to do because old lady fingers. But, so then you want to just trace over the toes and make sure that you go with the line down here, roughly. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, again, because nothing is completely flat ground. But, if you do happen to make the paws too wide, you can always just, scrunch them closer together. Or if you make them too tall, just do that. Cats have a lot of toes. I don't know, I mean, I guess humans have more toes, but still. It's a kind of a pain. I think I need to just make another species aside from geyser cats that just have 2 toes. I mean, that would be so much easier. But then again, it would look kind of funky. Okay, so, what happened there? So anyways, that is how I draw cat feet. Paws. I know the difference between feet and paws. So yeah, this is how I draw paws, with a side angle, and a 45-degree angled, and a front angled view. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, I don't know, give my video a like, and if you haven't already, maybe subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. And that way you'd also be one of the first people to know that I have posted a new video. So I will see you all later, and